Hi guys, it's JQ Crafty. I have another process video for you for Confessions of a Paper Addict Cut Files. I have this awesome Vicky Bouton Foundations mixed media paper. I'm actually going to add gesso to it too, just so my stuff will move the way I want it to and more blend and look watercolory and not soak into the paper super fast. And I'm also going to play with, I'm going to play with a ton of different shimmers. We'll see if I use all of these. I'm feeling some of them, maybe not all of them. And I'm going to play with the mood board challenge. And I'm going to use the cut file that you guys all voted for, which is, I'm still punching out the little bits, is the freebie this month. So I believe it is meant to go this way, but because of my photo, I might actually put it so the flower's on the bottom, and I'm gonna kind of nestle it down here. Now I'm keeping this because I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call it the Daisy technique, where she uses watercolors to color in shape, and then yeah, so I've got this photo. I'm going to trim it down a little, but I'm going to tuck it in here, and we're going to just stick it down here in the base. We're going to rotate it a little bit like that, and that is going to be where, and we're going to have watercolor behind it, and then we'll see what else we do, and then we'll lay this over top. So I'm still punching this stuff out, the little bits, but I figured we could get started. So let's do that. Let's get started. So I'm super loving this. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I'm gonna list off all the shimmers I use. I ended up using all of them, some of them in very tiny amounts. But I just played. I sat there and I painted with them and kind of blended them until I liked what I had. And I wanted to kind of do a fade, and I kind of got that effect, but I really, really love it. So I ended up using Golden Roses, Orchid Straw, Wisteria Lane, Sugar Plum, Purple Peony, Antique Lace. I think I used some First Blush as well, but not a lot of that. Not a lot went in. And then for the little pops of blue, I did use Anchors Away, and it's Mint to Be. So like all the purples and into the pinks. And then, I think I used In a Jam too. That's possible. Yeah. And then a little pops of blue, because in the mood board on the page, so make sure you go check out the Facebook page. That's where the challenge is. She's not doing challenges all the time, but when she does, they're super fun, and this mood board is gorgeous. And yeah, Virginia also used this cut file, and she did a gorgeous way of like doing fringe and filled her cut file with it. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. But this cut file it's gorgeous too. So I'm using all of those colors, and I did mostly the purples and those pops of blue in the moon. And now the negative of the cut file isn't going to prevent the leakage of the paper or the paints from like going under, because I didn't like adhere it down or anything. And then as it gets a little wet, it's going to curl up a little bit. So stuff's going to leak out, but that's fine because the whole point is the watercolored look. So I'm fine with it going outside the outlines of where the cut file is going to be. And then in where there's the flower clusters, I'm doing mostly like the In a Jam and was it First Blush or something like that, the lighter pinks. And then I will add a little bit of the deeper purples in there. But I just sat there and played until it came out. It was looking the way I wanted it to. And then because I use this foundations paper and gesso, it didn't warp hardly at all. You can see there's a little bit of warping, like at the top, there's a little bit of pooling in the bottom. And so I'll dab it up as I go just to prevent the pooling. And then it will still re-pool, so it's not like you're going to get the dab marks but it's just going to lessen how much liquid is sitting in that area. So at first I was doing that, but then I decided I was going to add a little blue on the top and the bottom, but then I was like, I had too much blue. But that's the fun thing about mixed media. You sit there and just play until you get it the way you want it. And I should have stopped there because I really like that, but I think I ended up adding more to the top as well. But yeah, so this is just all footage of me playing with the watercolors, and right now it's like, okay, it's looking pretty, but after I take it off and then we do the splatters, I love it. And then you add all the other stuff. It's just good. I'm very proud of this one, and I honestly can't believe I made it. Really. Yeah, and I just have a jar of water there because shimmers are very concentrated, and so I wanted more of a soft look. So I would add a little bit and then water it down a little bit. But here we are. So see how it's just kind of water, and right now it just looks like an unshaped or semi-shaped blob. It is not a semi-shaped blob, but I'm gonna go ahead and take I think it was Anchors Away and a couple of the darker purples and then one of the pinks and just splatter like crazy. And then I will go ahead off camera and I forgot to hit record. I was having so much fun. I backed the whole thing with a black cardstock, and then those butterflies and the flowers are all these new 49th and Market rub-ons that I got. Did a haul video for a cherry on top recently, and I saw MK use them, and they are awesome. So I just kind of laid them out where I think I was going to want them, and now I'm actually rubbing them on to add some more blues to the layout. And so they're going to kind of be tucked under the cut file. You saw it was laid down there first. And so I'm going to rub all these on and get them stuck down. And I've got a couple clusters of flowers to go in, and then I've got, you see, and then I've got some butterflies kind of flying away from the moon cut file as well. And yeah, it's just pretty. But these rub-ons are really nice. They go on really well. And honestly, I've always been a fan of rub-ons, but they do go bad. But I have a feeling because what's fun about these two is there's not just shapes, there's also just like textured backgrounds. So rub-ons to add just some like subtle, it's a good way to cheat if you don't want to use mixed media, honestly. There's a lot of cool, like distressed doilies and like almost like ink splatters. Like those are going to be cool to add to backgrounds. I'm really excited to play with them. But this was kind of my first chance playing with it. And there's a few different sets. And so these all colors came from a few different sets. There's like a sky and navy. So a lot of the butterflies came from that. A couple of the flowers did. And then there's like a lavender and blush, I believe, set. And so the purple things came from that. And I don't think I used, because the other one was like yellow, or it might have been buttercup and lavender, like a yellow and purple set. I don't remember. I'll leave the link down below to like one of them, and then you'll kind of see, or actually I'll just leave a link down below to my haul video as well. And then you can kind of see what's all like in them, because I kind of flip through them. So I'll do that. I'll leave a link down below of my haul video. But I did all the rub-ons, and now I think I did some of them, and now I'm going to glue my cut file down. And now I'm just doing the outside because I want to tuck my photo into the moon. I want to get tucked in right inside there. Sorry. And now I'm going to mat my photo on this kind of watercolory paper from Bella. And it's got like a shimmer to it, and it's like a nice little purple. I had to trim it down. I wasn't quite sure how big I wanted it, but I wanted it, tucked in. So then now I'm going to glue the rest of the cut file down so that my photo is glued under it. So there we go. Look how pretty it is. So I have these She's Magic chipboard thicker things on my desk, and then I grabbed out these Pink Fresh Studio. I think this was like Indigo and Ivy or something. Not Indigo and Ivy. So one of the really pretty, Just a Little Lovely. That's what it was. And I found when I was trying to figure out my title, I forgot I had those on there, and there's these beautiful like puffy flowers. So I'm adding those to the clusters as well, because a lot of them are the deep purples and blues. And then I'm going to add the word sweet on here. And then there's a very pretty iridescent blue chipboard, Love. And so my title is going to be Love So Sweet. And it's just my new niece. She was new last year. Got to meet her on her second day of life. And I just love all the different textures on here, because I've got the watercolor and the cut file and then some chipboard and some puffy. But it's not like a ton of it. It's just little bits here and there. But yeah, the colors are just, they turned out really well. And now I'm addicted. And I told Daisy that I'm addicted to doing cut files like this now. So I'll try not to like oversaturate myself and do it so much that I get annoyed with it. But oh, it was so much fun to play. So I ended up playing with my shimmers even more after I did this one and did some like fire for a rocket ship. Um, but yeah, and then I decided to go in. We needed a little bling. I mean, it was pretty and it's got some shimmer, but let's bring some bling. So I used some vintage dowry sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and that just topped it all off. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I love it. Lots of close-ups at the end because I couldn't get enough of those rub-ons with the cut file. To me, they were just like a match made in heaven. And then with the shimmers, it just worked out really, really well. Oh yeah, and I did add actually a word. It just like says precious moments. That's also a rub-on the very bottom. There will be kind of a close-up at the end so you guys can see that a little bit better. But it just added kind of like a shelf almost for the moon to sit on. But just sprinkling those around, and that is all I got left. But so it was just a lot of fun playing with it, just playing with the color and not caring, but like not too worried about how it's going to turn out, knowing that if I just keep layering, things will go well. And I couldn't have asked for a better turnout. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go join the Facebook group's mood board challenge if you haven't already. We'll see you there, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.